like you read all these stories about Airbnb and canceling and like guests wanting, after the fact, like trying to claim, whatever they want a refund or just any horror stories you've had to deal with, regardless of whether it's Airbnb or just in general, just some stories.
We've had shit catch on fire. I had a kid drive one of our golf carts that was like 10 years old and crash into a brand new Escalade.
Oh,
And then they didn't say anything. And then I get a call from the cops like a week later, like just stuff like that. Look, the bottom line is this: what people don't understand, and I got two great stories after this, but what people need to understand before I kind of tell these stories is there's a difference between buying long-term real estate and just having a property manager and sitting back and collecting your $200-300 a month versus running a short-term rental business, which is a legitimate service business. We're in the service industry. So yes, you got to kind of take in these, I call them like rounding errors. There's always going to be shit that goes wrong. There's going to be somebody complaining about something that broke. There's people that you're going to have to replace bed sheets and stuff. My rule of thumb is anything that's like under $1,000, I don't even hassle with, because to me, the most important thing is getting my 5-star ratings and remaining a top listing versus dicking around back and forth with these people about little ticky tacky shit. Now, if there's a massive, that looked like somebody threw a rock through my like couple $1,000 oven, like a huge Viking oven, looks like
right.
somebody threw a rock and they're like, oh, sorry, it was your guys' floors were wet. Our buddy slipped and hit his elbow. I'm like, dude, bullshit. You guys were partying
Yeah.
there. Obviously something's wrong. But it is what it is. So now two little quick stories. On one of my flagship properties in Florida, there's this creepy security guard guy that just, God, he just gave me the heebie-jeebies when we drive through. And I kept thinking, this motherfucker's gonna do something weird one of these days. Well, we get a message and a picture of this. There's a bunch of little girls, like there's young girls and parents, but all the little girls are swimming at night because the pools are heated. And this dude's standing on the like electric box outside of the wall around my house and looking down at these kids swimming. And they got a picture of it. And I got the guy fired. I'm like, this is fucking disgusting. Like, this is
Yeah. That's
weird.
creepy, man.
Creepy. That was a creepy story. The worst story in terms of like the money that I've lost, and like this would be an unrecoverable type of event if I didn't have such high cash flowing other businesses to just kind of eat the costs. I bought a property for what was a very good price, with a pool on the roof. And it I was nervous about it, but it went past inspections and everything seemed to be gravy. I bought this house sight unseen. It was a multi-million-dollar property. It was the end of the year, December 31st closing. Just I needed to check it in just so I could, get the tax write-offs and stuff. That house, we worked on it now for coming up very close to just about 2 years, where it's been vacant because we had not been able to fix this leaking freaking pool. It was leaking
Oh,
nonstop, ruining the house. And my mortgage on that place was $10,000 just to keep the lights on every single month, right? So I'm at 200,000 into this house, maybe another 60 or $70,000 into just trying to fix the pool a bunch of times, and another $30,000. My dad was just out there for a month and a half. Completely, they covered the pool. It is now just a deck on top of the roof, and who would have
yeah.
thought? But so if I didn't have that cash, I would have been screwed, and it just would have been a nightmare. Luckily, I had that. Now it's finally up and renting. And in 1 year, we'll make back all that profit, which is great because it's a big house. But man, or we'll make back all those expenses with the profits. But yeah, that's a true horror story, man. Like I couldn't have planned for that to go wrong.